Hi, this is Vicki with My Paper Connection. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to make a wonderful card. This is the never-ending card. Look at that. I get so much joy just opening that. It is so fun. And what I've decided to do, because there's not really anywhere to write your whatever it is that you're going to write to the person that you're sending it to, I've decided to create a bookmark to go in the middle right here, and that I would just slip inside of it. Before I get started putting my card together, there's one more thing I wanted to tell you about, and that is the new catalog. This is Stampin' Up's 2020 to 2021 catalog, sorry. And I just placed an order for these, and I should be getting them probably the first of next week. So if you do not already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you would like to receive a catalog, please be sure to let me know. I would love to send you one. And this is the 2021 Beginners Catalog, and you can see it got kind of chewed up a little bit in the mail, but I'm just glad they got it to me. But if you would like either one of those, please just let me know. My website will be across the screen. Just click that, or just go to that and hit contact me, and I will get one out to you. Okay, to make my never-ending card, I am going to cut my cardstock. This is Whisper White. I'm going to cut it at I'm going to cut it 5.5 first, and then I'm going to cut off a piece that is 4 1/4. Actually, I need 2 pieces, and I'll just set the other piece aside. And then what you'll do is you'll take one piece, and you will, on the horizontal side, you will score it at 1 3/8. It's that larger tick before you get to 1/2. So you'll score it at 1 3/8. Then you'll flip it over, and you'll do that again, 1 3/8. Then you'll take it down the middle on where it's the 4 1/4 side, and you will cut it at 2 1/8. Just like that. Then you'll take your other piece, and on the vertical side, portrait, on your 4 1/4 inch side, you will score it at 1 1/16. So what that is the very first line after the 1, you're going to score it there. I like to put my blade at the bottom so I don't mess up. So you scored it 1 1/16, like that. Do it on the other side. And then you're going to take it on the 5 1/2 inch side, and you're going to take it to 2 3/4, and you're going to cut it down the middle. So what you do then is you just take a bone folder, and you just fold it at all of those scored places. I actually tried the very first card that I made. I tried it using the thick Whisper White, and I just found that it was just a little bit too thick for me. It didn't want to open and close quite the way it should. And so I just went back to the regular Whisper White. And it's very important that as you are doing your folding, that you do it to both sides. Okay, so I've got my scoring and my cutting done, and I will tell you, the best way that I have found to do it is to make sure that it works right is to fold it first before you actually adhere it. Make sure that there's not any sides that are going to bump together, like this. If it touches a little bit, it's okay, but if it's going to bump together a good bit, that's not going to be good. The next thing I'm going to do is to take my piece that is horizontal, that I scored the smaller area, and I'm going to use my tear and tape. I'm going to place it right along the exterior edge, just that corner right there, on both sides, the exterior sides. Then I'll pick this piece up and I'll do the same on the left side. Then I'm going to take my paper piercing tool, my Take Your Pick tool. Just rub it, and that way you make sure that it's adhered to the card pretty well, or the cardstock, and then just lift it up. You can also use your fingernails as well. I just find it easier using my piercing tool. If you have a piece like this where your tearing tape went off the edge, just loop it back on top of itself too. All right, just like that. Then you're going to put these together with the sides that do not have tearing tape on them in the middle. Then you're going to take these pieces that you cut. These were your vertical ones that you cut down the middle on your 4 1/4 side. Turn them horizontally and just match up your corner, making sure all your sides are even. Okay. Then you'll take the other piece with the tearing tape and do the same on the other side. Okay, you want to make sure that you're even. All your sides are even. All right, then you'll take your last piece and do it. Okay, and even at this point, if you find that there's a little bit of an overlap, it's okay to trim just a little bit of it off, and I'm going to do that. I do see, you can see kind of how it's bowing up a little bit. It's because it's overlapping just slightly. So I'm just going to take this edge and bring it in and just trim it just a tiny bit. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to burnish again. It's a lot of burnishing, but I just want to make sure that it all lays down really well when it's time. And it will do it more, the more that you play with your card, it'll do it more and more. Okay, see, that did it even easier that time. Okay, the next thing is you're going to cut 8 different panels, 8 panels. You'll have 4 patterns each, okay? And then you'll have to have the smaller rectangles to go with it. So what I like to do is to just kind of lay it out and make sure that all of the pieces are going to go well. And I do it 1 panel at a time. So I'm going to take the, I think I will go with this one on the front. Okay, there's just going to be just a little bit of the white that's going to stick out around the edges. Okay, so after I get the very front done, then I turn it around and I do the other direction. And I think I'm going to use this design for this. And this is the one you really have to be careful to make sure you have it going in the right direction, because there is actually a design on this that is directional, that is. Okay, so once I get that done, then I go ahead and I put in the other ones on the that are on the inside panels. So now that I have all of my paper in place, you'll see, like this, it's really starting to come together, isn't it? I have I've pre-stamped images and cut them out. And for the front, I'm going to place birthday wishes and love to celebrate you. And I've placed these up with dimensionals just to bring a little bit of dimension to the front of it. I won't be doing that on the inside because I want it to close properly. Okay, so then the next thing I'll do is to place the images that I'm not going to put up on dimensionals, which will be happy birthday and here's to celebrating you. Just like that. Then it opens up this way. And because you can see these sides, I didn't want to put something over here because you would only see half of it. So I just put it on those other panels. I'm going to close it up and I'm going to bring it around right side because my flags are going in one position. What I decided to do, since there's really nowhere to write on this, I decided to make a bookmark. So I brought a piece of 2 by 4 inch paper, and I am just going to glue in some of these plaid pieces on it, and then I'm going to cut it out. I want to try to get all of your white covered. There we go. Sometimes it's easier if you flip it upside down and look at it from the back side to make sure that everything is lined up. Okay, so once you get them all adhered in place, flip it over, and if you see any extra hanging over, which can happen, then just trim that off. So I'm just going to bring in my little mini trimmer, and I'm just going to cut that little bitty tiny bit off right there, just like that. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in my scalloped tagged punch. I'm just going to slip it in like this. Make it go all the way to the edge on this side and then punch it. Alright, there's a little bit of white that's showing right here, but that's no problem because I'm going to put ribbon into it. And there's a couple ways you could do your ribbon. You could pull it through with your loop like this and then pull it through itself. I'll show you. You'd have to cut it to be able to do it, but you could pull it through like that. Now that's one way to do it. Or you can pull it through with a single edge. I need to trim that edge because it's fraying now that I did that. And then you would take a piece of your, since I have red in here, I'm going to take a piece of red and Night of Navy twine. And let's see, I'll just go ahead and trim some off so it's easier. You just take it around it. I'm not going to do a bow because it's for a man's, for a man bookmark, a masculine bookmark. Y'all, if you had any idea how much trouble this has been to get this video made, I stopped and started about 5 times yesterday, and I got it completely finished and then realized that when I had stopped and restarted, I didn't push the record button. So I had to cut it and start all over again. So there you go with that. All right, so I'm just going to do a double knot so that it doesn't go anywhere. So I've already stamped and cut out, I punched out You're the Greatest by Par, and I used the Label Me Fancy punch for that. And I'm just going to cut this in half so that I can layer it on each side of my sentiment. I'm only going to let a little bit of it peek out because I don't have a lot of space on here anyway, but I did want there to be just a slight hint of an outline. About like that. Okay. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back. I'm just going to place it like that. So what happens is when the person who receives this card opens up their envelope, they're going to have a bookmark and a really cool card. And you could put your bookmark in there, but when you open it, and then when you open it, it's a surprise. But then again, it might fall out too. But then look at this. Is that not the cutest? I love this card, and it's just so fun to just keep opening it, right? I love it. Okay, so here's the other one that I made that you didn't see me make on camera. And this is the bookmark that you didn't see me make on camera. And you can see here, my bookmark is a little longer. I cut it shorter because I realized when I made it that there was too much of the white showing. And I could actually take this out, cut it one more time, and then put the ribbon back in it, and that would fix that problem. But I just love how these turned out, even if it did take me a day and a half to make the video. Whew, I'm tired, y'all. Anyway, be sure to look up this set and this paper and take advantage of it while Stampin' Up! Still has it. It is retiring June 2nd, and they will have it for sale as long as supplies last. So be sure and check that out. And you know, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but you can put your happy birthday to a great guy right here on the back. And the great thing about that is that when they put this in their book, then they'll always see that they were told how much they were cared about. So, and you could use this happy birthday. This is actually a Father's Day card. So there's a couple ways you can do it. I also forgot to tell you the other stamp sets that I used for this particular one. I used Love to Celebrate You and Birthday Wishes from Butterfly Wishes. And I used Here's to Celebrating You from Perennial Birthday, and Happy Birthday from Bonanza Buddies, which is also retiring. Okay, that's it for me. I think I've held you long enough. I'm not sure at this point if I mentioned, if you wanted a new catalog, please let me know. I'll have my website across the screen, www.mypaperconnection.com. Let me know and I'll get one out to you. I'm also going to be doing a paper share that I will have information about that paper share on my website. You'll get one piece of every single piece of the Designer Series paper that Stampin' Up! Is coming out with in the new catalog. At least one piece. Some of them you'll have 2 or 3 or 4. So anyway, be sure to go to my website and you can see that along with the price. So thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe and ring the bell, and you'll get notice when I have other videos coming out. Have a great, great day. Bye-bye.